And it is now October, the 1st of October. So, what does that mean? On the 1st of every month, what I do is I do a monthly Christmas card inspiration. This is for all of you that want to create your Christmas cards throughout the year rather than like someone like me who tends to end up waiting until, like the last minute on creating cards. And there's always something, a lot of stuff going on. So a lot of times maybe they don't get done. But the whole idea of this is to, um, whether it's product that's retired or it's current, I come up with two fairly simple duplicatable cards. That's, if you want to mass produce, do a few of this particular card or a few of that one. I like to do a variety myself. But this month I am using two products that are actually new. I believe these both, well, I know for sure for one of them, I think both of these are actually in the new September through December mini catalog. We have the Stay Warm stamp set. So this is the primary stamp set that I'm using. It has a lot of these images of a sweater, a hat, you got a heart, you got some socks and mittens. Now, this is a reversibles stamp set. So basically, you can stamp your more detailed image in one color, and you can either use the same color stamped off or a different or a lighter color just by taking this stamp, and when you flip it over and you have that smooth side that would normally stick to your acrylic block. This will line up with this image, and then you can actually fill it in with, like I said, a stamped off of that same color or a lighter color that's different. And the same thing with the socks. Now, with this sock, when you flip it, it's going to be in the wrong direction, so you use the other sock to then fill it in. So the thing is with this stamp set, it's got these really neat, not greetings, but images in them, but there's no dies to it. So if you want to cut these out, you do need the fussy cut. Or if you are mass producing and you're going to do a few of these cards, you can stamp them, and then you can also use your electronic cutter, like something like a Brother Scan and Cut or Cricut, to scan in a whole sheet that you have stamped and then have it cut it out. So that kind of saves on the cutting time on them. I will tell you, I am not a fan of fussy cutting. And so if I were to mass produce using this stamp set, that's kind of like the route I would go. Now, there are some people out there, they love fussy cutting. They find it very relaxing. That is definitely not me. So with this set, again, this is what Stampin' Up! Has come out with a series of stamps that are called reversibles. So they're photopolymer. You stamp your detailed image um, with like I said, either with one color of ink, and then you can clean that off, flip your stamp over, and then you got the smooth side that you can then stamp it, the ink, if it's the same color as this, stamp it off and then stamp over it, or you can use a lighter color with that. Um, so we're going to use that. And then because the stamp set does not have any greetings in it, I'm also going to bring in Wishing You Joy. This is another new stamp set in that mini catalog. Now, the thing with this, it's got, let's see, one, two, three, no, one, two. It's got four different greetings in here. However, it's in it it's in different fonts. So you have your kind of like your printed bold wishing you joy, then you have a scripted wishing you joy, and then you have another printed font, but it's a little bit bigger, that says wishing you joy. So there's wishing you joy, there's sending you cheer, you have Noel, And then you also have May Your Christmas Be Bright. So you have it in three different fonts. So we're going to use this stamp set in along with this one. Okay, so I will say that trying to come up with ideas with this because it's new, there's not a whole lot of samples to find of this particular stamp set to then come up with some designs. I was able to find a few items out there that I thought looked kind of neat. I did change them up a little bit to kind of like make them my own. I found these out on Pinterest, so I don't remember offhand who it was that I found it with, but yeah, so this is what I got. Now, to do this, I'm kind of fell behind. This did not post at 5 a.m. on October 1st, like the way I would like my videos to post on the day they should go out. However, it's a crazy week. So I have a regular full-time job, and this is kind of like what I do on the side. So we have, October 1st, which is, well, tonight, actually, um, monthly Christmas card inspiration. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that's Throwback Thursday. And then Friday, I go live. And then on Saturday, I will also be going live again at 6 p.m. Saturday is World Card Making Day, and during the daytime, I won't be doing an in person event like I would like to. There's some things that I do have to take care of that day. So, what I'm going to do at 6 p.m. on Saturday, I am going to go live. And what I am going to be creating is the handmade and heartfelt kit that Stampin' Up! Has in their kits collection. Now, Stampin' Up! Is doing, now I'm going to make mention of this because time to register for this is kind of running out. So let me make mention of it really, really quick. So on Saturday, actually, it's World Card Making Day. It's always the first Saturday of every October. So this is kind of a day, it's kind of dedicated, not, I would say, not really just, making cards, but anything really that's paper crafting. So it can be like, say, 3D projects like home decor type stuff, or it could be scrapbooking, memory keeping, anything really having to do with paper really. You can, this is kind of like that dedicated day that, you can spend the day, basically paper crafting. So Stampin' Up! Is going to have a free virtual event on that day from 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So like here Central Time, that would be from 3 to 4. And what they are going to do, they are going to be putting together this kit. This is the handmade and heartfelt kit. So the kit does have the box that you can put together, and then there are a total of 10 cards with 10 coordinating envelopes. So you have two of five different designs. So this is what I'm going to put together in my live at 6 p.m. Central Time. Now, the thing about this event, again, like I said, it's not just for demonstrators. This is for everybody. It is a free event. However, in order to watch the event and then be able to watch the replays of it afterwards, you do need to register for the event. So in the description, I do have a link to where you'll go to the website and you will register. Now, again, you need to register if you want to be able to watch the event. If you're not able to watch the event at the time that it's live, then you're able to watch it after the event is over. You'll be able to go back and watch it again for as many times as you would like. The other thing too, Stampin' Up is also going to have a free gift for everybody that registers as well. So if you're going to gather with a group of people to watch this, or even make the projects, if you had already purchased the kit, um, everybody should register. So then that way they'll be able to go back and watch the event later on, and then also they will receive the free gift as well. So the registration for this is going to end on Friday, October 3rd at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So here Central Time, it would be 3 p.m. After that, you won't be able to register for it anymore. That's kind of like where they're cutting it off. When you register, as it comes closer to the event, Stampin' Up! Is going to send you an email with the link that will take you to the event. I think it's going to be a Facebook group that I believe that they're going to be doing this in. I think. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. I should know this, but I don't quite have the notes for that. But again, in order to watch it, you will need to register. And again, it is free, but by registering, you get to watch the event after it's over, and plus you'll also get that free gift from Stampin' Up. So I just wanted to put that out there because, like I said, this is the first, and most likely when you see this is probably going to be October 2nd, because again, I'm doing this at nighttime of the first. And yeah, so Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time is when that registration is going to be cut off. So I don't want you to miss out on that. Again, it's free. It's, give you a little bit of inspiration, kind of see what that kit looks like. And again, when I'm going to go live that night at 6 p.m. and I'm going to put that very same kit together as well. Okay, so with that, let me get going on this card. So for this card, I don't have my little printout with my measurements, so I have my little ruler right here. So my card base, it's basic white thick. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of real red cardstock. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. Then I have a piece of this designer series paper. This is out of the, what is this? This is out of the Regals 6x6 designer series paper. So you have blueberry bushel, Cajun craze, crushed curry, cherry cobbler, garden green, gorgeous grape, old olive. That's what this piece is. Pretty peacock, real red, and shaded spruce. So this piece here, it measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have some scrap of basic white, so just basic white that I'm going to stamp my sweater on and fussy cut that. And then I got another piece for the hat I'm going to stamp and then fussy cut that. And then I have this square. This is not the largest. I think this may be the third largest square. This is out of the Stylish Shapes set of dies. So these are still available in the annual catalog. All right, so I am going to start off with folding and burnishing my card base. I try to get these videos done and then have them all done and scheduled to post at 5 a.m., on its set day that I want the video to post. And yeah, it's been kind of busy, and it's still going to be busy for the rest of the week because I still have to come up with the cards for my Throwback Thursday, and then also what I'm going to do for Friday too. So I'm kind of behind a little bit here. So Yeah, it's sometimes you just have like all these days that have back to back on it. But what's nice is on Saturday, that kit that I put together, everything's kind of done for me. I just have to either stamp or stamp and assemble. So I don't have to like kind of come up with a project. So there's a good advantage on that particular one. Okay, so I took my designer series paper and I attached it to my Real Red. And what I'm going to do is take this then and attach this to my card base. Now, I am going to stamp on this designer series paper, but I'm not going to be stamping off of the edge of it. So I'll be okay with putting this down first and then stamping over it. Okay, so now let's go and do our stamping. So for this one, I want the sweater. Now you can see I stamped the sweater in red, so you're going to see that your photopolymer stamps, they are going to stain with some colors, but as long as you clean it, they're still good to go, and you won't have any problems. It doesn't really affect it. I mean, it's just not like clear. So, all right, so let me put that on a block and then get another block for the hat. And then because this is a photopolymer set, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I want my Real Red ink for this. Okay, and then I got my Stampin' Scrub right here. Let me kind of move this out of the way. I got stuff everywhere. All right, so I have my Stampin' Scrub right here so I can clean my stamps. So with the excuse me, with the detailed side up, I'm going to bring in my bigger scrap and I'm going to take my ink pad. Now since this stamp is a little bit bigger, I'm going to take excuse me, I'm going to take the ink pad to the stamp. And hopefully I'm getting this whole thing inked up. Okay, and then stamp it down. Now because some ink went into some of these areas, I'm not going to press extremely hard because I don't want that ink to transfer where I don't want it. I am going to be filling it in with red too, but I don't want those dark blotches. Now see, a little bit isn't fully dark, but that's okay because I'm going to be going over it again with red. So, and this shakes my whole thing, and I'm sorry. Kind of take it off the table and clean it off. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to take my stamp, make sure it's dry, and then I'm going to just turn it around, press it down on my block, and what I do want is a piece of scrap paper because I do want to stamp off before I stamp this down. Now, you know, the other thing I want to do, I'm going to take the hat and I'm going to stamp that detailed side of it first. Okay, clean it. Okay, I'm going to flip it like so. All right, and then I'm going to ink up the sweater. So this is the back side, the smooth side of the stamp. I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to come in and just kind of line it over. Now with the back of this, it is going to come outside of the line a little bit, but that's only because, remember, that's the flat, smooth side of the stamp, so it's going to go over just a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to fussy cut that out. All right, so I'm going to clean this. I'm trying to do this without shaking everything, and I'm not being very successful. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with the hat. ink that up, stamp it off, and then just line it right over the top and stamp down. So again, it comes out of the lines just a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to be cutting that. We're going to be cutting that out. So let me close this up. Close up this ink pad. There's something about red, an open red ink pad that you tend to get red. See, tend to get the ink all over the place. All right, so now I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to bring in this die cut piece here. I want to bring in my old olive ink, and then I'm going to pull out a greeting from the Wishing You Joy. So I want this smaller print of Sending You Cheer. Okay, get my block. All right, I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this right down here, like so. Close that up, kind of move that out of the way. Oh wait, actually we still need that. Hold on. Let me put that there. I need another block. And then in the stamp set, I want these two sets of gloves. Now on these, I'm not going to do the reverse on these. I'm just going to stamp the outline of these. So I'm going to kind of position these the way that I want them. Like so. Put them down on my block. Ink them up. And then I want to randomly stamp them on my designer series paper. Okay, and then I can put one here. Now I'm going to be putting that piece down kind of like in the middle, so a lot of these are going to be covered up, but want to add a little more to that designer series paper. Okay, so now we got the stamping done and we have this piece here. Now let me get my snips. These aren't difficult or hard to cut out, but again, like I said, I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, but unfortunately it is what it is. Now, mass producing a card, no, I would not be doing this. I would be bringing out my scan and cut to do it. I just, usually something like this, I would go ahead and stamp it and then already have it cut out. But I kind of wanted to show you the whole process of how the reversibles stamps work. Now, the next card that I have done, we are going to be using it as reversibles again. The only thing is I've already stamped those and I've already fussy cut those out, so that way this video doesn't become like an hour-long video, because a lot of time was taken on fussy cutting. So I took care of that ahead of time. So I'm just going to cut out my sweater and the hat. And it's not difficult. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty simple to cut these out. Now the only thing is, because that kind of comes in here when if you go to use your electronic cutter for these, it may not cut on these solid lines. It may cut around that ink part right there. So Or if, like I said, if you were to fussy cut this, you're mass producing this could, what, maybe it's 2 cards or maybe 5 cards tops. But yeah, usually when I do my cards, I'll do either like 10 to 12 of the same card. And yeah, if I'm doing that, this would not be a card that I would make a whole lot of. Again, because fussy cutting's not one of my things that I like to do. So there's the sweater. And now let's get our hat. It's almost hard to believe that it's already October. I mean, I like it because fall is my favorite season. However, I just wish the temperature here would actually feel like fall. It's still kind of warm here. It's been like kind of like in the upper 80s these past couple of days. And then I think starting tomorrow we're supposed to start going down into the lower 80s. But ultimately, it being in the 70s, it's gotten down, I think, into like the upper 60s at night because there is condensation on my windshield when I go to leave in the morning. But yeah, I'm all for the cooler weather and for the leaves to start changing, and that's what I'm waiting for. Okay, so now let's assemble our card. I'm going to add some seal onto the back of this stitch square, and then I'm going to place this right about, I would say, about here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. I'm going to need both the larger and the smaller. So let me add, let's see, I think I got more larger ones. Maybe I don't have a full sheet, but I have, hold on, if I can get it unstuck, I do have the outer edge pieces here. So let me get another pair of scissors for that. Okay, and then cut some pieces here. And we can add some on the sleeve. Like so, and then let's get some on our hat. Okay. All right. Pull out these paper backings. Okay, I'm trying to get them into my little pop-up trash bin over here, but they seem to not want to go in there. All right, I got all those off. Bring in my card, and I'm going to place this right about here. And then my hat. I'm going to place that right over here. Now for my embellishments on this, these are the traditional sparkling sequins. These are part of the Traditions of Christmas Sweet Collection that's in the Holiday Mini Catalog. Now, I will say that, yeah, not long before I went and started filming this, I did check the website, and these are currently unorderable. They are on back order, but they will be back. I just didn't have a chance to go and check as to when that's going to be, but they will be back in stock. All right, so then I'm going to add a few of these real red ones here. There's 3 different sizes, and you get real red, old olive, pool party, and gold, and you get these in 3 different sizes. Now, I store these. Now, this is the plastic cellophane. I did trim these down because the packaging was wider. I put these in the cellophane with the one side cut off because the glitter will come off on these. But then my carded embellishments, I store them in these passport holders, so they are very sturdy vinyl, and they protect them really well. So I got these off of Amazon, so I did link them in the description below. All right, so there is our first card. So pretty simple. Again, if you do, you could kind of do this where you do all your cutting of your pieces first, do all your stamping, and then do your cutting out of these 2 images, and then kind of do like an assembly line type of thing with these cards. So there is our first card. Now let me bring in the pieces for my second. Okay. And again, I had taken care of the stamping and the fussy cutting out ahead of time to save some time. So for my card base, this is Cherry Cobbler. Again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of crumb cake. This measures 5 by 3 3/4, and ahead of time I embossed it using the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. This still is currently available in our annual catalog. I then not die cut, but I punched out. This is crumb cake, and I used my 1.5 inch circle punch. And then I had stamped on a scrap piece of basic white. I had stamped the socks. The outline is done in Night of Navy. Now again, like I mentioned, I had used this stamp right here. Glares on there. I used this stamp right here to stamp the outline, but I needed the back side of this sock, so you see the direction it's going in, to then stamp in the filler piece on that. So with the socks, it's stamped, the outline is stamped in Night of Navy, and then the filler piece is stamped in Balmy Blue, which it was stamped off before I then stamped over this, and then of course fussy cut. On the hearts, I stamped those in Cherry Cobbler, and then the fillers is a retired color. It is, I want to make sure I give you the right name. It is Rococo Rose. So it wasn't in color a few years ago, and so I used it. I wanted something that was kind of like along the lines of Cherry Cobbler, but a little bit lighter. Now, I could have just stamped off Cherry Cobbler and put that in there, but because I used a lighter shade on these, I wanted to use a lighter shade on the hearts. Okay, so I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. Okay. And then I'm also going to bring in some linen thread. We're going to kind of like hang these up. So I'm going to take a piece about that long. And where are, okay, I did have my ribbon scissors sitting here. I don't know where they went. Okay, and I got my Scotch tape. 2 pieces. Okay, and then I'm going to take 1 piece here and let's see, I want it about here, and I'm going to put tape to hold it down on this end. Okay, and then come across this side. And then tape this down. Okay, I think we got that at a good height. Yep, okay, so now I'm going to take my seal. Now, when you're using your seal on cardstock that's been embossed, because some of these fibers have, the fibers in the paper, the cardstock has kind of been broken down a little bit, you don't want to go really hard with the seal or it will tear the cardstock. So I'm going to take this and I am going to center this on my card base like so. I need to come down a little bit with that. Yeah, okay. So we adhere that down. All right, and then on my punched out piece of crumb cake, I'm going to bring in the greeting that says, "May your Christmas be bright," and I'm going to use this particular font right here. And let me get a block. And I'm going to stamp this in my Night of Navy ink. All right, stamp that right in the middle. Okay, set that aside. Get that out of the way. All right, so now on the backs of my stockings and the backs of my hearts, I want to add some dimensionals. See if I can get these 2 pieces on there. Nope. I have to cut down. All right, I need a smaller piece. Use up some of these scrap pieces here. Okay, and then we got a little tiny piece. All right, so that takes care of that sheet. And then let's see. Okay. That there, and then got this piece right here. And then I'm also going to pop up the back of this piece. Let me cut some of these. Okay, so now to place these down and to kind of have them spread apart evenly, I'm going to start with my stockings first. So I'm going to put one right over here. And I'm kind of overlapping the top part of that stocking to that linen thread to kind of make it look like that it's hanging off of that. So one of the easiest ways to kind of have things equally distanced, do your outer ones first, and then okay, and then do the middle. Makes it a little bit easier to figure out where the middle is and also having it like equally distanced. So this one I want to place right here. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to press those down. And then I'm going to take my hearts and I'm going to have the very tops of the hearts kind of overlap this linen thread. So it looks like those are hanging off of there too. And I'm just going to kind of like put them evenly in between those socks. So it looks like we got our stockings hung up. Okay, and we'll place that right there. Okay, and then let's get our greeting piece. Okay, and then we're going to place that right here in between our stockings and on the bottom like so. Okay, we're going to bring in these embellishments. Now, again, these, they have it listed as being a pool party, but when you look at them, to me, they look almost like they're a balmy blue. So on this too, I'm going to use all three sizes. So we'll put that one there. We'll put one up here. And then we'll take one and put it right down here. Okay, so there is the second card. So very simple. Looks, to me, it looks very like rustic, like, you know, more like a country Christmas type of card. So again, we got cherry cobbler and the crumb cake, and then we just went with our blues and our reds on this one. And then the first one, we got a little bit brighter in color, our real red and old olive. So using the sweater and the hat. So this is, again, the Stay Warm stamp set. There's no greetings in it. This is a set that, this is Stampin' Up's reversibles. No greetings to it. And then I just pulled in the Wishing You Joy stamp set that this too is in the annual catalog. Again, there's only 4 different greetings in here, but the 4 of them have 3 different, well, no, 3? Yeah, 3 different fonts in each of those greetings. So if you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Hit that little notification bell. It'll let you know when I go live or when I post another video. Again, I have like, I think this will make 292 videos out here on my channel. I range it from when I go live on Friday nights and I feature current product. I have a Throwback Thursday, which I use my retired stash, and I have a whole lot of retired stash. And then, as a matter of fact, tomorrow I will be using the Inspiration Squad. This is actually now on the last chance list, so this is retiring. It was an online exclusive. It wasn't in any paper publication. So this is going to be my Throwback Thursday. I'm going to create 2 cards using this stamp set. So what's probably going to happen, this is going to end up posting um, probably tomorrow night because yeah, it's too late for me to do this now, but it'll still be on Thursday when it posts. It just won't be at 5 a.m. Um, I have that. There's the monthly Christmas card inspiration. And then I also subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. So that's Stampin' Up's monthly subscription kit. And I recently, I think it was on Sunday, I had done that video where I did an unboxing. I created one of each of the projects in it. So those are the different types of videos that I have. And again, this will make video number 292. I started actually back in September. Actually, it was September 23rd of 2023 because just recently I hit like that 2 year mark in doing video content. So there's lots and lots of videos that are out there. I do have them separated out by in playlists as far as all the Throwback Thursdays are together and all the Christmas ones are together. And so there's lots of content out there. So, the liking, the subscribing, the commenting, the sharing, all of that really helps in not only building this YouTube channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up business as well. And so all that stuff, like I said, all the comments and the thumbs up and everything, all of that is just very much appreciated, and I thank you. And so, with that, everybody, I'll be back again with another monthly Christmas card inspiration on November 1st. And then, of course, then there'll be December 1st, and then through December, most likely it's going to be all like Christmas cards. So, hope that you will join me when I do my lives on Fridays and enjoy the video content that I have out there. So thank you so much, everybody, and you have a blessed one. Bye bye.